Hey everyone, it's time once again for the top three films of 2022. Uh, I'm actually impressed with like this year because there were a ton of movies that I really liked, and I did one round of like my top 10 of the year, and then I just said like, okay, I'm forgetting that came out this year, this came out this year, and I'm like, okay, I would have had to do like a top 30 just to include every movie I enjoyed this year. So yeah, here we go. Number three goes to Clerks 3. And the thing about this movie is that I think it is a perfect combination of everything that Kevin Smith has done. It's definitely a return to form. I didn't think that Clerks 2 was all that funny, but I thought the drama was very well done. This one I felt Smith did a perfect balance. It's the most dramatic of all the Clerks films. It's definitely also one of the funnier scripts. I He's already done like a ton of meta joke making movies since Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. I kind of feel this was like the good balance. It didn't go too crazy. It just kept you enough into the feeling of the first film while kind of balancing it out into like doing something different. And the ending is definitely like one of the biggest tear jerkers I've ever seen from a Kevin Smith movie. Beautifully done. And it's in a way where you feel it's the end of a trilogy, but it does have possibilities to go in it. He's already like hinting there'll be a Clerks 4, so like I'm like, if you want to, man, I wouldn't go any farther than that. Number two goes to She Said. Uh, this is like probably one of the best dramatic movies of the year, and I'm an ex journalist major, so like I see movies about journalism. I keep thinking like every single movie about journalism wants to be All the President's Men, which is like the top standard of that. She Said is probably like the only one that almost succeeds. I think it's like very on that edge where like you are building up all the facts and all the research about this one story that is going to destroy a very sinister man. Uh, but I also love that they don't get too graphic. This is very much about women abuse and the workplace, and I kind of like, okay, I love they don't get too graphic. You're following up on like the testimony, and you get like certain dramatic flares, but not anything graphic, which would have been like so dark. And it's just the right balance of like you feel so bad for these women that have had to deal with this stuff. And you just want this to succeed. You want this story to get out. You want this story to be done. And I also love like the two reporters that are like headlining this story because it shows them and their flavors and all success of their life where like they've had to deal with similar stuff. And you want these women to succeed just like you want these women's stories to be told. It's very well done on that like level and really does good job in showing like the research and the adding up and dealing with like sources and stuff like that. And number one goes to Everything, Everywhere, Everything at Once. Uh, it may be like one of the best like low budget movies this year because it tries to tackle what like Marvel is just now starting to do, but they do it on such a lower budget, but just ramping up on like so many good ideas and always putting it in this perspective of this family trying to deal with these financial situations, losing their business and stuff like that. I've always been a fan of Michelle Yeoh, and she is. I love how this movie really got her to like show so many different sides. She plays like the homely housewife, but she also plays the starlet, the action hero, the comedy genius, and Kike Kwan. I'm going to mess up the name, but the original Data from the Goonies. This is his return to acting, and he does such a great job. And I'm glad he's getting so many accolades from this movie. Very much a return to form, and it's so weird because he still sounds like he did when he was like 10. So I'm like, that is just so weird. Uh, and Jamie Lee Curtis, I did not know that was her until like the midway point, and I said like, that's beautiful. She just disappeared completely. So that's my top three best films of the year. So I hope you all check them out and enjoy them. Take care.